6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The emergency regulation implemented by the President will be taken up for debate today in Parliament. The Parliamentary Select Committee appointed to look into the election and voting reforms will meet today to gather more views from political parties. The Education Ministry says exams may be postponed due to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic situation. COVID vaccinations for the age group 20 to 29 in 4 districts from today. The daily COVID cases count climbs to 3,308 reported yesterday. Sri Lanka's COVID death toll hits 10,000. In news overseas, Afghanistan update, the Taliban accused of killing pregnant police officer. In sports news, Rory Burns and Hasib Hamid set up thrilling final days match between England and India. The emergency regulation implemented by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will be taken up for debate today in Parliament. The Parliament will meet today at 10 a.m. The General Secretary of Parliamentary Affairs, Dhammika Dasanayaka, said the debate will be held from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The voting will be held at 4:30 p.m. It should be noted that the President implemented this regulation based on the powers vested in him through the second clause of the Public Security Act. Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Select Committee appointed to look into the election and voting reforms will meet today. Many political parties, including the EPDP, the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress and the UNP, are expected to present their views and recommendations today. COVID-19 vaccinations for those aged between 20 to 29 years in the Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara and Gala districts will kick off from today. The head of the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of the COVID-19 outbreak announced. The Army Commander, General Shavendra Silva, added that youth who belong to the aforesaid age group can get themselves vaccinated at all the hospitals and clinics that are currently rolling out COVID jabs in these 4 districts. In addition to the existing centres where the inoculation drive is already underway in the Colombo district, the youth can obtain their COVID shots from special vaccination centres manned by the Sri Lanka Army at the following locations: the Diyata Uyana, the Vihara Mahadevi Park, the Army Hospital in Verahara, the Army Hospital in Panagoda. COVID vaccines will only be administered to youth who are residing in these districts, the Army Commander noted. As many as 154 deaths have been reported among elderly people who are aged above 60 years. In addition, 34 people aged between 30 to 59 years and 1 male below 30 years have also succumbed to the virus infection. The last 5,000 coronavirus deaths in Sri Lanka were reported within a time period as short as a month. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 death toll surpassed the grim milestone of 10,000 yesterday, with 189 more victims confirmed by the Director General of Health Services for yesterday. The new development has pushed the official death toll from the virus outbreak in Sri Lanka to 10,040. According to the data released by the Department of Government Information, the latest victims confirmed include 96 males and 93 females. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry reported yesterday that another 744 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 in Sri Lanka, moving the daily total of new cases to 3,308. This brings the total number of confirmed cases of the coronavirus reported in the country to 462,767. As many as 384,557 recoveries and 10,140 deaths have been confirmed in Sri Lanka since the outbreak of the pandemic. The epidemiology unit's data showed that 68,070 active cases are currently under medical care. The Colombo Municipal Council Chief Medical Officer Dr. Ruwan Vijayamuni said CMC vaccination centres are located at the Sugatadasa Outdoor Stadium, the Jintupitia MOH office, at Campbell Park, at the Forbes Road Community Hall, at the Shalika Hall and Roxy Gardens. Meanwhile, school children will be administered the Pfizer vaccine once health clearance is obtained. The President's office said attention has also been drawn to conclude the vaccination of those between the ages of 20 to 29 over the next 2 weeks. The President said that once the health authorities approve, it will be possible to vaccinate school children using the Pfizer vaccine. The import tax for milk powder has been fully relaxed. However, some traders and importers are trying to create an artificial shortage. This cannot be allowed. The government plans to have talks with milk powder importers this week and expects to arrive at a conclusion to provide a just and fair solution to the consumers. Aeroflot Russian Airlines will operate direct flights to Colombo from November 4th. There will be 2 flights per week. The flights will be operated on a wide-body Airbus A330-300 aircraft. The airline has already opened the sale of tickets for direct flights on the Moscow-Colombo route. That's local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidamahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Education Ministry says exams may be postponed due to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic situation. Accordingly, the GCE Ordinary Level exam may be held during the latter part of February next year. The GCE Advanced Level exam is scheduled to be held from the 15th of November to the 10th of December. The Year 5 scholarship is expected to be held on the 14th of November.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Live.
The Health Ministry said that 85% of the 6,985 COVID-19 deaths that have been reported up to August 15th were among the people who were suffering from chronic diseases and under medical treatment previously. The Health Promotion Bureau's Director Dr. Ranjit Batuantudava told a news conference that a total number of 2,261 of the deaths were among the people who had been suffering from diabetes, while 2,202, 52%, were under treatment for high blood pressure.
World News.
In world news headlines, Afghanistan update, the Taliban accused of killing pregnant police officer. India farmers protests, tens of thousands join rally in Uttar Pradesh. Guinea coup attempt, soldiers claim to seize power from Alpha Condé. Taliban militants in Afghanistan have shot dead a policewoman in a provincial city, witnesses have told the BBC. The woman, named in local media as Banu Negar, was killed at a family home in front of relatives in Firozpur, the capital of Central Gaur province. The killing comes amid increasing reports of escalating repression of women in Afghanistan. The Taliban told the BBC they had no involvement in Negar's death and are investigating the incident. Tens of thousands of farmers have gathered in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh to protest against new agriculture laws. Local police put the number at over 500,000, while an AFP photographer said at least 50,000 farmers and supporters took part. The farmers want state authorities to repeal controversial farm legislation. Organizers described the rally as the biggest protest since their movement began last November. The fate of Guinea's President Alpha Condé is unclear after an unverified video showed him surrounded by soldiers who said they had seized power. They appeared on national TV claiming to have dissolved the government. However, the Defence Ministry said the attempted takeover had been thwarted by the Presidential Guard. This follows hours of heavy gunfire near the presidential palace in the capital, Conakry. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. Afghanistan update: the Taliban accused of killing pregnant police officer. India farmers protests, tens of thousands join rally in Uttar Pradesh. Guinea coup attempt, soldiers claim to seize power from Alpha Condé.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, #1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
A special program is being implemented in the Ampara district in parallel to the national program for the production of organic fertilizers. The Ampara district secretary D.N.L. Bandaranayake says that a group of farmers who are interested in this field have already been selected and given training with an allowance for the production of high-quality organic fertilizer. This project is to be carried out covering all the divisional secretariats in the district, he added.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, #1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
And now in sports news, in cricket, England made a promising start to their pursuit of a record 368 to leave the fourth test against India primed for a thrilling conclusion at the Kia Oval. Faced with what would be England's highest successful chase in Test cricket, Hasib Hamid and Rory Burns took the home side to 77 at the close on day 4. When England took 3 wickets for 16 runs in the morning session, including India captain Virat Kohli for 44, Joe Root's side had the opportunity to minimise their target. However, Shardul Thakur batted patiently for 60 and Rishabh Pant was similarly careful in his 50 as they shared a 7th wicket partnership of 100. In scores, India batted first and made 191 in their first innings and 466 in their second essay. In reply, England made 290 in their first innings and was 77 without loss at the end of the 4th day's play. Today is the 5th and final day of the Test match.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Alpitia Plantations, now into a variety new crops, announced last week that luscious homegrown strawberries under the Berry Much brand will soon be on offer to consumers, adding to its portfolio of herbal tea, bees honey, kithul treacle and cinnamon products. Fruit pulp, passion fruit and sasap are also part of the range.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Hydramani's Group Director Arun Hydramani noted that the US $10 billion goal for Sri Lankan apparel exports by 2025 was unfeasible, but that the sector could aim to achieve $8 billion by 2025. He noted the difficulty in reaching that figure and noted that the pandemic had caused serious damage to the industry. Hydramani highlighted that with additional local value addition through ventures such as the Fabric Park in Eravur, the country was well placed to grow. Hydramani was speaking on an American Chamber Be Inspired webinar series held recently. He praised the government's vaccination drive, helping keep BOI companies operational. Over 90% of the apparel sector workforce has received the first jab, with over 70% receiving the second jab.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces and in the Galla and Matara districts. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places. Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Madakalapur and Ampara districts, especially in the evening or night. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected in the western slopes of the central hills, in the northern, north central and the northwestern provinces and in the Hambantota and Trikunamalaya districts. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during the thunder showers. This weather report was issued this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com predicts that Colombo's weather would be generally bright during the day, but there will be cloudy weather in the afternoon. Today's daytime temperature would be around 30 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 26 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 27 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index is 14, which shows a fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. However, sensitive groups may experience minor to moderate symptoms from long-term exposure. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The emergency regulation implemented by the President will be taken up for debate today in Parliament. The Parliamentary Select Committee appointed to look into the election and voting reforms will meet today to gather more views from political parties. The Education Ministry says exams may be postponed due to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic situation. COVID vaccinations for the age group 20 to 29 in 4 districts from today. The daily COVID cases count climbs to 3,308 reported yesterday. Sri Lanka's COVID death toll hits 10,000. In news overseas, Afghanistan update, the Taliban accused of killing a pregnant police officer. In sports, Rory Burns and Hasib Hamid set up thrilling final days match between England and India. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to Sharifa Tahir on the other side to keep you in great company. Over to you.